Willow Yan burst in, kicking the door of our house flying with one swift kick. She grabbed my hair and forced me to kneel. "You've got some nerve as big as the sky. Daring to run off with our daughter like that?" Our daughter immediately betrayed me. "Mommy, I don't want to go with Daddy. I love you the most in the whole world." It all started with my wife being the CEO of a major corporation, while I was just the guy living off her success. Could it really be that I got famous just by filming my life with a wealthy woman? Until a man showed up right at our door, claiming I was just a stand-in for her white moonlight. Married for 6 years. A new stand-in showed up at the house carrying a pile of bright green fruits. Lemons, plums, then mangoes, all green. He said, "Ms. Yan asked me to bring these over. All lush and green, just like the color on top of your head." He let me know I was just a pawn in her game, while he was the one she'd paid for plastic surgery to get a face identical to that white moonlight of hers. Ms. Yan even gifted him an entire company, staying up all night to be with him. I believed him. I asked our daughter who she wanted to go with, and the little one chose me. That very day, I took her and ran. 10 in the morning. The doorbell rang out loud. I opened the door, and a figure, both familiar and strange, stood right before me. Lance Thorne, among the many poor students my wife Willow Yan had sponsored, he was the most outstanding one. Rumor had it he was even a top student at Media University. He was carrying several large baskets of fruit, with a bright smile on his face. "Mr. Finn, I'm here to visit you." I let him in. The villa was empty, with just me at home. Our daughter Chloe was still at preschool. Not yet time for pickup. Lance Thorne casually laid out each type of fruit on the table. Lemons, plums, mangoes, guavas, green apples, kiwis, and even starfruit. Staring at the sea of green in front of me, my temples started throbbing non-stop. "This is what Ms. Yan asked me to bring," Lance Thorne said, while giving me a probing look full of hidden meaning. He added, "She said it's a little gift to brighten things up, and to boost your vitamins." He paused for a moment, his eyes sweeping over the top of my head with full mockery. "Look at this green. Doesn't it look so fresh and healthy? Lush and vibrant, just like the shade on your head." The remote in my hand got squeezed so hard it creaked. Rage boiled up from the soles of my feet straight to the top of my head. "What do you mean by that?" Lance Thorne turned back, his expression like he'd just heard the most ridiculous thing in the world. "Nothing at all. I figured you'd get it on your own." He leaned back fully into the sofa, in the posture of someone who owned the place. Being a person means knowing your place, above all. Don't dream of things that aren't yours. Did you really think you could leap to the heavens and become a phoenix in one step? You're nothing more than a substitute after all. My mind exploded with a boom, as if a heavy hammer had just slammed down on it. A substitute? That's right. Lance Thorne stood up and approached me, pointing at his own eyes. Then, at me. "Go look in the mirror yourself. Do you and I have anything in common?" I shook my head. We had nothing alike at all. He sneered with full derision. "Looks like you really don't get it. Haven't you noticed how your eyes resemble mine by about 90%? That's because we both look like someone else. That's Ms. Yan's childhood sweetheart who's passed away. Her white moonlight. His eyes looked just like yours and mine. Get it now? That's the whole reason you exist." My whole body froze, staring at him in utter disbelief. Lance Thorne was thrilled with my reaction, and he piled on another shock. "You've seen me before, right? Doesn't it seem like I look a bit different now?" He smugly rubbed his face. "That's right. It was Ms. Yan. She paid for me to get a little touch-up, right in the shape of that childhood sweetheart. Now I'm not just like him in the eyes, but this whole face is 90% identical. So hurry up and step aside. Don't hog the spot if you're not pulling your weight." I was shaking with fury, wanting to argue back but unable to get a word out. In my agitation, I accidentally bit my mouth sore. Ouch. The sharp pain snapped me back to clarity a bit. This was too absurd. How could Willow Yan? Why should I believe you? I practically shouted. He gave a faint smile, casually pulling out his phone. Don't believe me? Ms. Yan didn't come home last night, right? Do you know why? He said while scrolling through his phone, like he was searching for something. Because she spent the whole night with me. She just opened a new media company for me, and we were there yesterday. He held the phone screen up to my face. It was a selfie. In the photo, Lance Thorne stood in front, flashing a V sign, grinning triumphantly. Behind him, not far on the sofa, was a figure I knew all too well. It was Willow Yan, even though it was a bit blurry. The wall behind still clearly showed the word media. If you don't believe it, go ask her yourself. We're sort of in the same boat. It's just that now I'm about to take the throne, and you're about to get tossed aside. After all, I'm the more perfect replacement. He put away his phone, patted my shoulder, and prepared to leave. Keep it up, buddy. The world has plenty of fresh grass out there. Oh, right, that pile of fruit Ms. Yan had me bring. It's to remind you to know your place and leave quietly. Otherwise, that green meadow on your head will get even thicker. Ding. A notification chimed on my phone's WeChat. It was from Lance Thorne. He sent the photo again, of him with Willow Yan that I'd just seen. Under the photo was a message. Keep it up, buddy. I'm heading out first. I stared at that photo. At Lance Thorne's radiant smile and V-sign hand. It stung my eyes like two needles piercing straight in. He was gone, and the villa was left with just me again. I plopped down on the sofa, my mind a tangled mess. A stand-in. How could I be a stand-in? My thoughts were like a stone tossed into a lake, rippling out in wide waves, pulling me back many years ago. My family wasn't wealthy, but we weren't poor either. My parents were both high school teachers, with traditional and rigid mindsets. Their biggest expectation was for me to study hard, pass the civil service exam, and become a teacher, living a stable life. So, when I got into Riverside University and had a girlfriend right in my freshman year, they cut off my living expenses without a second word. The reason was that students should focus on studying. No money, and naturally my girlfriend broke up with me. To survive, and out of some ridiculous pride, I started working part-time as a bartender at a bar near school. It was right there that I met Willow Yan. That night she was clearly in a bad mood, sitting alone at the bar counter, downing drink after drink. Seeing she'd had quite a lot, I took the liberty to offer some advice. The result was her, fueled by the alcohol, grabbing my wrist tight. Hey kid, you're a student, right? Her eyes sparkled with a tipsy haze. What school do you go to? Wanna come with me? I'll take care of you. She said it while making some less than proper moves, her fingers lightly tracing my palm. A naive college kid like me, who'd never seen anything like this before. My face flushed red up to my ears. Luckily, her best friend Nina Monroe arrived just in time, dragging and pulling her home. The next day, I got a call from her, her voice on the phone soft and sweet, insisting on apologizing, saying she wanted to treat me to dinner as amends. I was going to refuse at first, but she was so persistent, completely different from the night before. In the end, I went to meet her nervously. After the meal, we discovered we went to the same school. I was a sophomore, and she was a senior, about to graduate. She didn't have to worry about the future, like other students, because her dad's company was waiting for her to take over. Her dad's company was already set for her to take charge. She went to class when she felt like it, worked when she wanted. That's when I realized the gap between people is bigger than between people and dogs. From then on, she became a regular at my school, eating with me in the cafeteria, strolling the campus grounds together. We just naturally ended up together. On her graduation day, she gave a speech on stage as an outstanding student, shining so brightly. At the party, she grabbed my hand, introducing me to all her friends and classmates. "This is Tyler Finn, my boyfriend. He's super handsome, and he spoils me rotten." She wouldn't stop praising me, making me so embarrassed I didn't know where to put my hands and feet. After that, I graduated too. With a wave of her hand, she gave me a stack of documents, telling me to come work with her. I brought her home to meet my conservative parents, and she brought me to meet her family. Her parents were very open-minded, saying as long as their daughter liked it, it was fine. Everything went so smoothly it was hard to believe. We registered our marriage. A year later, we had little Chloe. Our life was always filled with rosy hues. I still remember one time on a trip to Southern City. At the Star Pavilion, in the Confucius Temple, she insisted on dragging me to pray for love. After praying, she seriously asked me, "Tyler, will we be together forever? Will we have kids of our own?" I laughed and pinched her nose. "Of course, we'll be together forever. As for kids, if we don't have money, oh well. If we can't afford to raise them, we'll just rely on you to support us both." She immediately puffed out her chest and patted it. "Don't worry. My family has the means. I'll handle it. You just need to stay pretty as a flower." Back then, I teased her right back. "Doesn't that make me a kept man? If you ever treat me or the kids badly later, I'll have no choice but to grab the kid and run." The sweeter the memories, the crueler the reality felt. I snapped out of my reverie, feeling like I'd been doused in ice water from head to toe. Those sweet moments I thought were love now seemed like nothing but a carefully staged play, all because my eyes resembled that dead childhood sweetheart of hers. I picked up the phone, staring at that offensive photo, my heart sinking into the abyss. Lance Thorne had left. The villa was eerily quiet. I slumped onto the sofa, zooming in on that photo over and over. Lance Thorne's radiant smile, Willow Yan's blurry figure sitting behind, and those two glaring words, media, stabbing my eyes. I picked up the phone, somehow compelled to open my short video account. The Pursuit Diary of Hot Guy Tyler Finn with tens of millions of fans. The profile pic was a photo I took together with Willow Yan. She was leaning on my shoulder, smiling like a child. The latest video was from the day before yesterday, filming me in the kitchen steaming bird's nest for her. The caption read, "Wife's been working hard. Let hubby nourish you." Below were thousands of comments. "Third bro is dishing out dog food again. When will I find a perfect husband like third bro? So jealous. This soft rice, I'd eat it for life." I looked at my radiant self on the screen, feeling how utterly ridiculous it was. Perfect husband, my ass. What sweet days. It was just a clown putting on a show. A stand-in who never saw the light of day. No way. I couldn't just believe Lance Thorne's one-sided story. I needed proof. Proof that would make me completely despair. I didn't dare call Willow Yan directly, because I was afraid of hearing the answer I didn't want. Even more afraid she'd use lies to cover it up. My fingers scrolled through the contacts endlessly, finally stopping at the name, Nina Monroe. Willow Yan's best friend. They'd been pals since they ran around naked in the rain as kids. If anyone in the world understood Willow Yan best, it had to be her. The call connected. It rang a few times before someone picked up. "Hello? Tyler Finn, rare to see you calling me." The booming voice of Nina Monroe came from the other end. I forced myself to keep my tone as normal as possible. "Nothing much. Just checking if you've eaten yet. What have you been up to lately?" "Just finished eating, not busy at all. Still lazing around as usual. But why no videos showing off your wife today? The fans are dying for it." She joked from the other end. I could only force a laugh, but my heart was pounding. I took a deep breath. beat around the bush for a bit, and finally steered the conversation to the point. Monroe, I have to ask you something. You've got to tell me the truth. What's so serious? Willow Yan, did she used to have a childhood sweetheart, and then he passed away? As I asked this, my palms were drenched in cold sweat. The other end went silent for a moment. Then Nina Monroe's unrestrained laughter rang out. Why are you suddenly asking about that? She laughed hysterically. Yeah, that's what happened. I thought you knew ages ago. My heart plummeted into the abyss. Nina Monroe kept talking, her tone casual as she recalled the old story. Back when Yan was in her senior year, right before that time she went drinking at the bar. She went and confessed to that childhood sweetheart. Boom! My mind felt like something had exploded. Confessing right before meeting me? Lance Thorne's words. And Nina Monroe's too, like two massive hammers, shattering my last shred of hope. Hello? Tyler Finn, you still there? Yeah, still here. My voice was so dry I barely recognized it. Thanks for telling me. Monroe, we'll always be friends, right? With that, I didn't wait for her reaction, and hung up in a hurry. Before it fully disconnected, I think I heard her mutter, "What a weirdo." Yeah, what a weirdo indeed. Something this important. And me, the husband, was the last to know. Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. I couldn't accept it. I really couldn't. My hand trembled, dialing the most familiar number. Willow Yan picked up. Her voice came through, cold mixed, with a hint of fatigue. What's up, Yan? What are you up to? I tried to keep my voice normal, as always, in a meeting at the office. Super busy? Spit it out if there's something. Oh, someone brought some fruit today. All green lemons and plums. I wanted to ask if you had them sent. Why? She countered. Yeah, I asked for it to be delivered. Not to your taste. Even if not, eat it all. It's all fruit rich in vitamin C. Good for that mouth sore of yours. Her words stabbed my heart like needles. So she still remembered my mouth sore. But this concern now just made me nauseous. In the end, was she caring for me, or for this face identical to someone else's? I mustered all my courage and asked the killer question. Yan, did you used to really love that childhood sweetheart, the one who passed away? The other end went dead silent. Each second dragged on like a century. Just when I thought she wouldn't answer, she finally spoke. Never loved him. Dead is dead. I even wished he'd drop dead to get rid of the hassle. Tyler Finn, the one I love most, is only you. Hearing that firm denial, hearing that wished he'd drop dead, I just felt a chill down my spine. Fake. This was clearly an excuse, not an explanation. Guilty conscience making her defensive. Even her best friend admitted it. Yet she was still lying to me. I couldn't listen anymore. The rest didn't register at all. Got it, I blurted out hastily, then hung up straight away. After hanging up, staring at Willow Yan's name on the screen, I felt like the world was spinning. I wandered through the afternoon, couldn't swallow a single grain of rice. My mind was a mess, full of Lance Thorne's hateful face, and the things he'd said. No, I had to go pick up Chloe. On the drive to preschool, only one thought in my mind. I could give up everything, but over these 6 years, Chloe was raised by my hand alone. She was my final boundary. Picked up Chloe, the little one like a cheerful bird, chattering away about fun things at school. I ruffled her hair, my heart melting. While waiting at a red light, I casually asked, Chloe, Daddy has a question for you. If you had to choose between Daddy and Mommy, who would you go with? Chloe was fiddling with her fingers, looked up at that. In those big round eyes just like mine, not a hint of hesitation. Of course I'd go with Daddy. Daddy's the best dad in the world. My heart felt like it got hit hard, both aching and touched. I held back my emotions and asked further. But with Daddy, you might not live in a big house like this anymore, or go to such a good preschool. The food probably won't be as tasty as now. Are you still willing? Chloe's little brows furrowed, like she was thinking very seriously. Then she leaned forward, planting a big smacking kiss on my cheek. As long as I'm with Daddy, I can handle anything. Even if the food's not good, eating with Daddy will make it all yummy. That's enough. Just this one sentence is enough. Back home, I rushed straight to the kitchen, cooking up the most lavish spread ever, all Chloe's favorites, sweet and sour ribs, Coke chicken wings, and even French fries. After dinner, I even pulled out the strawberry ice cream from the fridge that she'd been craving for ages. But Willow Yan never let her have much. Eat up, kiddo. Daddy allows it. Today, have as much as you want. Watching my daughter eat messily with ice cream all over, her face full of joy, the last bit of hesitation in my heart vanished into thin air. Everything was just as Lance Thorne said. For 3 straight days, Willow Yan didn't come home at all. Not a single call, not a message. On the flip side, Lance Thorne was like clocking in for work, sending me fresh battle reports, right on time every day. All photos of him and Willow Yan at the new company late at night, even without any overly intimate actions. His presence by her side when I wasn't there hurt more than any words. In the photos, Willow Yan sometimes frowning over documents, sometimes chatting with someone, and Lance Thorne always finding the perfect angle to frame both him and her in one shot, wearing the smile of a victor. He even added captions. Miss Yan is pouring so much effort and heart into our company. Mr. Finn, don't worry, I'll take good care of her. Looking at the phone, I felt like nothing but a laughingstock. By the evening of the 4th day, Chloe was fast asleep. I lay in bed tossing and turning. Enough. Time to end this. I opened the chat with Willow Yan, sending the first selfie Lance Thorne had sent me, the one where he flashed the V sign, with her sitting behind. I messaged, "Are you at the new company working with him?" Almost immediate reply. Willow Yan. Yeah, just regular work, decorating the new office, and prepping everything for the company. Don't overthink it. No issues here. I let out a cold laugh and typed on, "You're pretty generous. Gifting a whole company." This time, the chat went silent for ages. It took several minutes before she replied, "How do you know?" Seeing those 3 words, the last flame in my heart flickered out completely. She was guilty. She didn't ask me how I knew she was with Lance Thorne, but was asking how I knew about gifting the company. So in her eyes, working overnight with a man was nothing. But splashing cash on a company was what needed hiding from me. I mocked myself with a laugh, messaging back the final words, "Nothing. Going to sleep. Just heard it by chance." Turned off the phone. I stared at the ceiling all night without sleep. If she wanted me to step aside, then I'd go. No big deal. Why keep up this deep affection act? This Tyler Finn ain't serving anymore. I stared at the chandelier on the ceiling all night. When the first ray of sunlight slipped through the curtain gap and hit my face, I sat up. Enough. Stand in my ass. Step aside for what? I'm done playing. I tiptoed into Chloe's room. The little one still sleeping soundly, her small mouth slightly pursed, looking like a pink fluffy bun. I leaned down, blowing gently in her ear. "Chloe, wake up, kiddo. Daddy's taking you to an amazing place." Chloe groggily opened her eyes, rubbing them. "Daddy, it's not even light out yet." I lowered my voice, using a super tempting tone. "Want to go somewhere where you don't have to go to preschool, ride horses every day, and eat tons of ice cream? No preschool?" Chloe snapped awake instantly. She bolted up, eyes wide. Daddy, are you serious? No more school? Of course it's real. Why would Daddy lie? What's the point of school anyway? Come be a net idol with Daddy. We're heading to Southern City for a month-long trip. Play till we drop you in. I'm in. Chloe's little face lit up instantly with a radiant smile, her excitement even bigger than getting red envelopes at New Year's. Deal sealed. The two of us, like secret agents on a mission, quickly packing our bags. I stuffed clothes for both of us into 2 big suitcases till they were bursting. Toys for her, my live stream gear, nothing missing. Stepping into the living room, I grabbed a sticky note from the drawer, picked up a pen, and scribbled wildly, "I'm out, don't look for me." I casually tossed the note onto the coffee table piled high with that green fruit, feeling those 4 words were badass as hell. Before heading out, I pulled out the SIM card I'd used for 6 years, snapping it in half without hesitation. Goodbye, Willow Yan. Goodbye to the fancy cage that trapped me for 6 years. On the way to the airport, Chloe excitedly clung to the car window, chattering nonstop. Daddy, does Southern City have elephants? Sure does. What about peacocks? Got those too. Whoa, so, can we bring elephants and peacocks home to raise, Daddy? I smiled and ruffled her hair. No can do. They have their own homes. Just like Daddy. It's time to find a new nest for the 2 of us. Business class tickets to Southern City that day. This was the last time I'd spend Willow Yan's money. The moment the plane took off, the intense acceleration hit. I looked at the city, shrinking outside the window. No regrets in my heart. Just an unprecedented sense of freedom. Whatever. Just think of it as a stress relief getaway. Over 2 hours later, the plane landed at Changshui Airport. A humid breeze carrying the scent of wild grass and fresh earth hit me square in the face. I took a deep breath, feeling like my lungs were completely cleansed. Where we stayed was a homestay in a village I'd booked online beforehand. The homestay owners were a down-to-earth, middle-aged couple. Seeing me with Chloe, they were incredibly welcoming, helping with luggage and bringing out freshly picked fruit. Chloe let loose completely, chasing a yellow dog around the yard, her clear laughter like wind chimes. Watching her carefree figure, the last bit of gloom in my heart from leaving home vanished entirely. The sky here was so blue, clouds pure white. Chloe and I stood in the homestay yard, gazing at the distant Kang Mountains, feeling like everything before was just a wild dream. Daddy! Chloe grabbed my hand, looking up with her little face. It's so beautiful here. I love this place. I knelt down and hugged her. If you like it, that's great. This will be our new home from now on. My life in Southern City was leisurely like a dream I didn't want to wake from. Chloe and I played to our heart's content, heading out to the grasslands to ride horses during the day. The little one sat in front of me, the horses bouncing, making her giggle non-stop. Her laughter echoed across the vast prairie. We fed the sheep and cows grass, Chloe's small hand clutching a handful of green, timidly offering it right to the sheep's mouth, both anxious and thrilled. All the worries and grievances built up in that fancy cage before were washed clean by the endless blue sky. Fresh air here. I thought these days would last forever, but I had no idea. Right as Chloe and I were enjoying our freedom, a storm was quietly brewing in Jiang Province, 1,000 miles away. And at the center of that storm was the wife I'd left behind, Willow Yan. It all started 2 days later when Miss Lee at the preschool noticed Chloe had missed 2 days in a row. For a kid who'd never been late or left early like Chloe Yan, this was highly unusual. She called my phone number first, but the other end was just a cold announcement. The number you have dialed does not exist. Miss Lee was stunned, thinking she dialed wrong so. She checked and tried again. But, same result. With no other choice. She had to call the emergency contact number. When the call connected, Willow Yan was chairing an important high-level corporate meeting. She glanced at her phone and saw the call from Miss Lee at the preschool, her brows furrowing unconsciously. She silenced it without answering. But a moment later, it rang again. Yan started feeling a bit annoyed, excused herself to the room, grabbed the phone and stepped out. "Hello, Miss Lee, what's up?" Her tone carried a bit of displeasure at the interruption. "Miss Yan, sorry to bother you. Here's the thing. Yesterday and today Chloe didn't come to school. I couldn't reach Mr. Finn. The operator said the number doesn't exist. So I wanted to ask if the little one is feeling unwell." Willow Yan's brows furrowed tighter. "Number doesn't exist." She hung up, immediately searched my name in her contacts, and called. "The number you have dialed does not exist." The exact same announcement, turning the annoyance in Willow Yan's heart into an ominous feeling. She immediately opened WeChat and sent me a message, but a red exclamation mark appeared. "The other party has removed you as a friend." Willow Yan's face went pale instantly. She had no mind left for the meeting, grabbed her car keys and bolted out. The clack of high heels on the polished stone floor echoed urgently and chaotically. She rushed home in a panic, speeding the whole way, the unease in her heart growing stronger. The villa door wasn't locked. She pushed it open and stepped in, greeted by a deadly silence. "Tyler Finn! Chloe!" she called out loudly twice, but the empty house only echoed back. She charged up to the second floor, pushing open Chloe's room first. Inside was still tidy, but some of the toys and clothes the little one loved most were gone. Her heart clenched. She staggered to the master bedroom, into the walk-in closet. Half of my side of the wardrobe was empty. The clothes I often wore weren't just missing one or two, but a lot. Both large suitcases, stored in the closet, were gone without a trace. The house empty, people gone. Those 4 words struck a heavy blow to Yan's heart. She stumbled back a few steps, leaning against the doorframe, her mind completely blank. She wandered downstairs in a daze, her eyes blankly scanning the living room. Finally, her gaze stopped on the scrap of paper I'd tossed on the coffee table. The note was pressing down on the pile of fruits she'd had delivered, all green. She walked over, trembling as she picked up the paper. On it were just the 4 words I'd scrawled. Messily, "I'm out, don't look." In that instant, all the anxiety, questions, unease exploded in Willow Yan's chest, turning into a raging inferno. Her hand clenched so tight it turned white. The note, with those heartless words, crumpled into a ball. "Tyler Finn!" A roar erupted from her throat, carrying a tremble even she didn't notice. Gone crazy from being a net idol, daring to play this game of running off with the kid on me? She shook with rage, her beautiful face twisted in anger. "You better hide well." She ground her teeth, each word hissed through them. "Don't let me catch you. Once I do and bring you back, if I don't lock you up and make you kneel on the keyboard, I won't be a Yan." My life in Southern City was comfortable like a dream I didn't want to end. After all, deep down I'm still a content creator. Can't just neglect an account with tens of millions of fans. More importantly, I wanted to capture my new life with Chloe. So I pulled out the camera and livestream gear. In the lens was the endless blue sky, away, vast stretching grasslands. Scenes of me holding Chloe on horseback, her sitting in front, her tiny figure bouncing with the horse's rhythm, arms waving in sheer joy, her clear laughter echoing on, or like us prepping a BBQ cookout by the fire pit in the homestay yard, me clumsily starting the fire, getting smoked till tears streamed. Chloe standing nearby laughing her head off. These things were stuff that never appeared in my videos before. Before, I was the personal house husband to a rich lady, a man who only hung around the kitchen and Willow Yan. But now, in the lens, I was Chloe's dad, a free, vibrant person. I edited those clips together, adding a light folk tune with a gentle rhythm. The video opened with Chloe's beaming smile, ending with our silhouettes side by side on the grass, watching the distant sunset. Video edited. Night had fallen. The grill in the yard was already smoking away, skewers sizzling on the red coals, fat dripping onto the embers, sparking little flames. I cracked open a beer, poured Chloe a glass of milk. Chloe, I took a swig of cold beer, feeling refreshed all over. Tomorrow's Daddy's birthday. Aren't you getting me a gift? Chloe was gnawing on a grilled chicken skewer, eating so messily her mouth was smeared with grease. Hearing me ask, the little one tilted her head, thinking for a while, then put on a pitiful face. But I don't have any money. I teased on purpose. No money won't cut it. No gift and Daddy will be sad. Her eyes darted around. Suddenly she leaned forward, planting a big smack kiss on my cheek. So I'll give Daddy a kiss as a gift. A sticky mess of grease from the grill instantly spread on my cheek. I pretended to grimace and wiped my face, frowning, all greasy like this. Daddy doesn't like this gift. But inside, my heart was already blooming. This kiss was warmer than any luxury Willow Yan had ever given. Chloe saw my pretend disdain, pouted. If Daddy doesn't like it, then no more gifts. I burst out laughing, hugging her close, planting a firm kiss on her forehead. After finishing the barbecue, I lay on the long chair in the yard, pulled out my phone, looked at the video I just edited, and nodded in satisfaction. I titled the video, Farewell to the Past. Starting a new life with my beloved daughter. Without a second thought, I hit the upload button right away. As a Cole, with tens of millions of fans. As soon as my video went live, the metrics started skyrocketing. But I didn't pay much attention, casually tossing the phone aside, and started chasing fireflies with Chloe. I had no idea, right as my daughter and I were cheering over those little fireflies, that video had caused an earthquake on social media. The comments exploded. Holy crap, is Finn bro getting divorced? This title is pure drama bomb. Farewell to the past. Does that mean goodbye to the rich wife? Finn bro finally standing up for himself. Total alpha move. Am I the only one curious where this is? The views are peak level. Gimme the address please. Of course, among that pile of comments, there was also the appearance of a special guest. In Jiang province, 1,000 miles away. Willow Yan had seen this video too. She'd always followed me. As soon as the push notification dinged, she clicked to watch immediately. When she saw the face of Chloe beaming in the video, and my expression of shedding a heavy burden, her hand gripping the phone unconsciously tightened. She paused it, then zoomed in on the image, like a detective, scrutinizing every tiny detail in the video. Finally, her eyes locked on one frame. It was when my daughter and I stood in front of the homestay door. Behind us were some local-style bamboo fences, and a natural wooden rock with a very odd shape. She immediately opened her laptop, typed a few keywords into the search bar. Unique homestays in southern city. Bamboo fences, natural wooden rock. A bunch of images popped up. She patiently scrolled through several pages. Suddenly, her pupils contracted. On an AD photo for a homestay, there it was, the exact same bamboo fence, and rock identical to the video. She clicked the image. Below was the name and address of the place. Found it. Willow Yan's lips curled up in a dangerous smirk. My daughter and I played till we were exhausted, sleeping a dreamless sleep. Oh, The early morning sun in Southern City slipped through the curtain gaps, gently warming my face. So incredibly cozy, I groggily rolled over, feeling a small warm bundle wiggling beside me. It was Chloe, her little arm draped over my chest, her sleeping face rosy and plump, her mouth still smacking, probably dreaming of yummy food again. I smiled softly, my heart overflowing with tenderness. Today was my birthday. No expensive gifts, no lavish parties, but with my daughter by my side, having this peaceful moment was enough. Just as I was about to laze in bed a bit longer, a rapid, harsh knocking echoed. Bang, bang, bang. The knocks were forceful and loud, as if trying to smash the door to bits, making the whole wooden door shake violently. Chloe in my arms startled. The little one woke with a jolt, curling tight against me, whimpering, "Daddy, someone's knocking so hard. Is it a bad person?" She was so scared she clung to my shirt, her body trembling. That earth-shaking noise made my heart leap out too. All sleepiness vanished. Anger flared up right after. I gently patted Chloe's back to soothe her, while yelling toward the door. In irritation, "Who is it? What's with the pounding like that? Can't you knock gently? Seriously, can't even sleep in on my birthday." As soon as I finished, a massive boom thundered. The originally sturdy wooden door got kicked, flying straight inside. Wood splinters scattered everywhere. Blinding sunlight flooded the room. A familiar silhouette backlit, radiating murderous intent that overshadowed everything. Like a god of death, standing right at the door. I just sat up, not yet seeing the face clearly, my mind still foggy, when that figure moved. In just a few strides, she was at the bedside. I only felt a sharp pain on my scalp, a tremendous force grabbing my ear, yanking my whole body up from the bed roughly. I was pulled till my vision blurred, my body collapsing pitifully onto the rug by the bed. A bone-chilling cold spread from my head down my body. Finally, I saw that face clearly. It was my wife, Willow Yan. Her beautiful face was now pale as a sheet, full of icy coldness. Those eyes I'd once loved so deeply now blazed with fury, as if wanting to devour me alive on the spot. She looked down at me from above, each word hissed through gritted teeth, an order allowing no resistance. "Kneel for me." Seeing her utterly furious look, so intensely serious, my mind hadn't reacted yet, but my body swiftly performed the most honest action. My knees went weak, instinctively kneeling straight up. My mouth uncontrollably blurted, "Honey, I was wrong. Don't scare the kid. Calm down first. Calm down." My voice trembled without me realizing. "Still worried about scaring the kid?" Willow Yan let out a cold laugh. That laugh, colder than winter snow. "You dared to run off with our daughter, and now you're telling me you're afraid of scaring her? If I hadn't chased you here, my child would be gone for good." Her voice suddenly pitched high, carrying a sharp danger. "I went through the hardship of carrying and birthing for 9 months and 10 days, only for a beast like you to snatch her away." She screamed in rage, her voice shaking with indignation. This old lady endured 10 months of pregnancy to give birth to this child, only for a scum like you to steal her away. I didn't steal. Getting scolded relentlessly by her, but I still instinctively defended myself, my voice dry and weak. "Chloe said she willingly went with me. She doesn't want to stay with Mom anymore." I hadn't finished when the little traitor who'd been cowering behind me all this time suddenly stirred. Chloe poked her little head out from the blanket, eyes wide and teary, first glancing at me warily, then turning to see Willow Yan fuming at the door. In just 1 second, her little face shifted from fear to overwhelming joy. "Mommy!" She jumped out of bed, frantically rushing toward her, holding out her small arms for a hug. Mommy, pick me up. I want to go with Mom. Mom, don't listen to Daddy's nonsense. I love Mom the most in the world. Her voice bold, enunciation clear, brimming with heartfelt sincerity. I froze for 5 seconds. I looked at my daughter in disbelief. The kid who just moments ago sworn, as long as she was with Daddy, she'd endure any hardship, was now clinging tightly to Willow Yan's leg, looking up with her little face, showing absolute loyalty. My jaw dropped, unable to say a word. It felt like getting stabbed in the back by my little princess, both infuriating and hilarious. The icy look on Willow Yan's face thawed a bit, replaced by the smugness of a winner. She bent down and scooped Chloe up, planting a big kiss on her cheek. That's my precious Chloe, the best girl for Mommy. Holding her, she glanced down at me with utter disdain, her tone dripping with sarcasm. Not like some ungrateful thing. I felt my face burning hot. Willow Yan finally released her grip on my hair. Her voice still icy, emotionless. Stop kneeling. Get up and let's go. I felt like I'd been granted amnesty, just like a defeated fighting cock. Slinking up from the floor. Was this her way of escorting me home? Made sense. After causing such a big mess, it'd be weird if she didn't drag me back for a trial. I rubbed my numb knees, hurriedly saying, Yan, wait while I pack up and come home with you. Just a sec, I'll pack fast. After all, I brought so many clothes. Can't just leave them here. Willow Yan, holding Chloe, heard me and her expression was like she'd heard a joke. Pack what crap? She snapped, her eyes shooting daggers. Utterly cold. Looking for a beating? Pack up. And where do you plan to sleep tonight? I was stunned. My packing motions froze in place. What do you mean? I asked timidly. Aren't we going back? Willow Yan shot me a scorching glare. It was a look I knew all too well. 70% impatience plus 30% mockery. No going back. Don't you know it's your birthday today? You want to celebrate on the highway? My mind boomed. Birthday? Right. Today was my birthday. Swept up in this chaotic drama, I'd completely forgotten my own birthday. An indescribable emotion surged inside. Surprised, delighted, but mostly flustered. I unconsciously stood at attention, like a soldier awaiting orders. Roger, today's mission is to escort Her Majesty the Queen out to play. That day, we went to her high lake, strolled around downtown Cumming, ate crossing the bridge noodles, and all sorts of ethnic specialties. Chloe clung to Willow Yan the whole time, like a little general returning victorious. Occasionally she'd turn back and make faces at me, her eyes screaming, Daddy, you're so lame. I was like a puppet, trailing behind the mother-daughter duo, my mood a tangled mess. It was late evening when we got back to the homestay. Chloe was worn out from playing all day, so she conked out as soon as her head hit the pillow. The room was left with just me and Willow Yan. The space suddenly quiet, the air turning stifling. Willow Yan sat on the chair by the bed, shedding her daytime dominance, arms crossed over her chest, her eyes silently observing me in the dim yellow lamplight. Being stared at made my scalp tingle, so I took the initiative. Thanks for throwing me a birthday today. She didn't respond to me, just asked ambiguously, Tyler Finn, do you feel really wronged? My heart skipped, but I stubbornly said, No. She sneered, her tone full of mockery. No? Then why'd you run? You're such an idiot. Lance Thorne says you're about to get sent to the coop, and you believe it hook, line, and sinker. Says you're just a stand-in and you buy it completely, and even dare to pull the runaway with the kid stunt. Her barrage of questions left me speechless. My face went from pale to flushed, seeing my aggrieved look. Her eyes softened a tad, and she continued, If Monroe hadn't called me, telling me the idiot at home suddenly asked her about my childhood sweetheart. I wouldn't have known you could get jealous too. I stiffened my neck to argue. I'm not jealous? Anyone would have a hard time taking it. Hard time? She raised a brow, like finding an outlet for her anger, her voice rising sharply. Willow Yan looked at me. That gaze, like staring at a tantrum-throwing child. She sighed, her tone carrying helplessness. Tyler, Finn, did you forget? You had that mouth sore a few days ago, to the point you couldn't even eat. I was taken aback. That pile of fruit is rich in vitamin C. Super good for mouth sores, she said word by word, like teaching an elementary kid. I told you to eat more for your own good. What the hell is in that head of yours that you think up all this nonsense? Boom! An explosion in my head. My mind went completely blank. So, that's how it was. My jaw dropped. But no words came out. My face burned hot, like I'd just been slapped hard. And another thing, Willow Yan wasn't letting me off easy. What else makes you feel wrong? That dead childhood sweetheart guy? She left me choking on words. I could only stay silent and take it. Seeing me like that, she just spilled the beans. Fine, I'll tell you the truth. In my senior year of college, I did confess to him. My heart sank into the abyss again. He agreed back then too. She went on, her tone suddenly turning cold and full of disgust. So what happened? That very night, he drove his flashy supercar, picked up some hot chick from who knows where for a joyride, and crashed. Both logged out on the spot. I jerked my head up in shock, looking at her in disbelief. That's why I said I wished he'd drop dead. And you thought I was lying? Willow Yan's lips twitched into a mocking smile. Let me tell you, that's the most honest thing I've ever said. I felt so unlucky and disgusted. Just after accepting my confession, he goes and gives me a fresh cuckold horn right out of the oven, and even fades to black himself. It even made the news. Tell me, isn't that pathetic? She got more agitated as she spoke, her chest heaving. I was so frustrated and angry about it. That's why I ran to the bar to drink. And that's how I met you. My whole body froze. All the anger, all the grievances, in that moment became utterly ridiculous. I wasn't a stand-in for any white moonlight. Simply, after a scumbag brought disaster on himself, she met this fool. Wasn't I the lucky one? The truth about that childhood sweetheart exploded like a bomb in my head, blowing away all previous grievances and anger into smoke. But I wasn't fully convinced yet. I pressed her. What about that company then? Lance Thorne? And all those photos he sent me. The company? Willow Yan raised a brow, looking at me with eyes like staring at a total idiot. She paused for a bit. She seemed to be organizing her words. Then, word by word, dropped a bomb even bigger. That company is yours. Mine? My head buzzed, frozen for 5 seconds. I wondered if sleep deprivation was making me hallucinate. What do you mean, mine? Your birthday gift. Willow Yan's voice was casual as ever, like she was commenting on nice weather today. Aren't you a net hotshot with tens of millions of fans? I figured, you can't just be my house husband forever. Gifting you a media company, so you can be your own boss. Grow that account even bigger. Wouldn't that be great? My jaw dropped, speechless. Splashing cash on a whole company, just because I'm a net idol? The reason was so bold and luxurious. But it instantly melted the icy corner in my heart. With a warm flow, Willow Yan saw my dazed look, and continued. As for Lance Thorne, he graduated from Media University, right in the field. The company was just starting. I don't know squat. So I invited him as a consultant to give advice and input. That's why I stayed late those days. All for work. What about those photos? I still wasn't satisfied. Photos? Willow Yan sneered, her tone full of contempt. All snuck by him, or he deliberately angled to get me in frame. At first I thought he just liked showing off. Later it felt off, so I couldn't be bothered. Didn't expect him to be so bold, daring to take that stuff right to your face to stir up trouble and drive a wedge. She paused, her eyes turning cold. He somehow snooped out about my pathetic childhood sweetheart story, then got plastic surgery, wanting to use that face to get close to me, dreaming of leaping to the top as a phoenix, truly money-hungry to the point of madness. All the pieces in that moment fell perfectly into place. Lance Thorne's appearance, the pile of green fruits, those offensive photos, and his whole mishmash theory of stand-ins. Turns out from start to finish, it was just a play he wrote and starred in, a scam to climb the ladder, and I was the big fool he led by the nose like a top. My face burned hot, ashamed and regretful, just wanting a hole to crawl into. So, how did you find me? My voice tiny as a mosquito. That short video you posted, dummy. Willow Yan shot me a scorching side eye. You think I don't follow you? I watch every video you post. Saw that bamboo fence and rock. Hopped online for a quick search and found this homestay right away. So, that's it. So, my epic escape I thought was so cool, in her eyes, was just a childish comedy act of exposing my every move myself. So the betrayal and deceit I imagined, from beginning to end, were all surprises and love she prepared for me. I looked at her, at those eyes, bloodshot from rushing overnight. My heart flipped with every emotion. I wasn't a stand-in, never was. I was the one she placed at the tip of her heart, the one she quietly cared for, even willing to splash billions for me, the only one. She looked at me, lips curling into a mischievous smile, but her eyes showing a sharp, dangerous glint. But that Lance Thorne guy did remind me of something. Remind you of what? I asked casually. In this world, there really is a place as good as a mental institution. My head buzzed, dazed by her mental institution phrase. A chill shot from my soul straight to my scalp. The anger from being deceived and led earlier was instantly replaced by fear. I swallowed, my voice a bit dry. He won't come out and revenge on me later, right? Someone who could meticulously plan plastic surgery, build a pile of lies to fool me. How twisted must their psyche be? Willow Yan saw my cowardly look, lips forming a cold smile. That gaze, like looking at a country bumpkin who's never seen the world. He's tasting bitterness right now, she said lightly, like recounting a trivial matter. I had him committed to the mental institution. I went numb, staring at her in horror. Committed there? Is that even possible? Why not? She crossed her arms, looking at me amused. He handed the evidence right to the door. Why wouldn't I use it, seeing me still clueless? She patiently explained. To get close to me. He got surgery to look like that pathetic childhood sweetheart. Isn't that obsessive compulsion? He fantasized he could replace you. Even thought my company was prepared for him. Isn't that delusional? He took those snuck photos and dared to flip facts in your face, stirring discord. Doesn't that count as anti-social tendencies? Each sentence, she said. My heart sank a bit more. Behaviors I thought were just low character, through her mouth, all became symptoms for commitment. I just found some professional doctors. Described verbatim the situations I encountered. The doctors naturally make the most professional judgments. Her voice calm, but exuding an undeniable authority. Plus he's a lone wolf, no family. Not even someone to testify for him. Hearing it sent chills down my spine. This woman when ruthless is truly ruthless. Willow Yan saw my dazed face, suddenly grinned mischievously, leaning close to ask, Tyler Finn, let me ask you, do you know how to prove you're not mentally ill? The question stumped me. Without thinking, I instinctively answered, just find a doctor and say I'm not sick. Willow Yan burst into laughter upon hearing. In that laugh was pity. You idiot! The more agitated you explain to the doctor you're not sick, the more they think your illness is serious. Then they'll write in your chart, patient emotionally agitated, tends to deny condition. She paused, word by word like pronouncing sentence. Then the doctor ups your dose, and that's your life done. I felt my worldview collapse completely. This was truly an inescapable loop. I looked at the woman, grinning like a little fox in front of me, for the first time feeling she wasn't just the wife who pouts or plays tricks on me, but someone with hands covering the sky, a queen who can crush chaos for you. An unprecedented sense of security enveloped me. My jaw dropped, finally blurting, Honey, you're seriously badass. Right then, the little piglet sleeping soundly on the bed suddenly rolled over, smacking her small mouth, mumbling groggily, Daddy, Mommy, stop talking you two. You're waking me up. Willow Yan and I looked at each other, both seeing clear amusement in the other's eyes. The tense atmosphere from before was instantly shattered clean by this kid's sleep talk. Willow Yan signaled me to stay quiet, and we both tacitly shut up. The room sank into silence. Only the steady breathing of our daughter audible. Moonlight slipped through the window, coating her soft, fine hair in a gentle silver glow. We lay down too, with Chloe in the middle, protected on both sides. I turned to gaze at the sleeping mother and daughter, feeling an odd peace in my heart. After the misunderstanding cleared, Southern City's sky seemed even clearer blue. Early next morning, I was woken by Chloe's laughter. The little rascal was riding me like a wooden horse, while Yan sat by the bed, smiling at us father and daughter. Her eyes brimmed with a tenderness I'd never seen. Thinking back on my escape plan before, now it seemed like a ridiculous childish comedy. The remaining vacation days became a true family honeymoon. Amid the biting snow winds on Jade Dragon Peak, I hugged Yan and Chloe tight. She paused for a second, her face flushing red, then pinched my waist hard. Her mouth scolded cheesy, but the smile in her eyes couldn't be hidden. In Lijiang ancient town, we donned vibrant ethnic costumes. Chloe, like a little butterfly, fluttered ahead. Yan and I held hands strolling behind. That foodie, mouth stuffed with rose cakes. Whatever she couldn't finish, she'd shove to me. I pretended to complain, while resignedly eating up all the leftovers. These days my camera worked overtime. The lens no longer captured the lonely back of a single dad fleeing with his kid, but the happy smiles of our family of 3. Last night, at the homestay, I gathered all the footage, editing a slick new video. I specially picked a background track, sweet enough to rot teeth. The video opened with me yelling I love you on the snowy mountain. It ended with our silhouettes under the ancient town's sunset. Edited, I just stared at the screen, grinningly. I gave the video a super bold title, Caught in the Net. Turns out my wife loves me way too much. The moment I hit upload, I already imagined how the comments would explode. Sure enough, not even half an hour live, notifications blew up. Holy crap! This plot twist knocked me flat. Last video running with the kid. This one voluntarily surrendering. Haha! Anyone get this feeling? Thought Finn bro was rising up. Turns out just changing spots to dish dog food. I'll take this bowl of dog food. Only me noticing Miss Yan's look at Finn bro. Total spoiling with no escape. Drama over, not a stand-in. This is true love. My followers surged, over 1 million in one night. Looking at the comments, flooded with admiration, the grievance from being deceived before completely vanished. Finally, I could hold my head high. Vacation over. Our family of 3 boarded the plane back to Jiang province. As desperate as I was leaving, coming back, left hand holding daughter, right tightly grasping Yan, my heart brimming with happiness. Plane landed. Yan didn't take us straight home, but told the driver to head right to a brand new office tower. Getting out, she tilted her chin, signaling me, her eyes full of smugness. I followed her into the grand lobby. Catching my eye was the wall at reception, with the company name in gold lettering. It was that very media company I'd seen in Lance Thorne's photos, the thing that once tortured me to death. From today on, this place is yours. Yan slipped the key card into my hand, her tone casual, but it hit my heart like a heavy blow. She led me to the door of the largest office. On the door hung a fancy nameplate, clearly engraved, Mr. Finn. Seeing those words, I felt like dreaming. From a house husband living off his wife, whoosh, becoming Mr. Finn with his own company. The identity shift was too fast, too surreal. I pushed the door open. Spacious office, flooded with light, through the massive floor-to-ceiling glass. The most bustling view of Jiang province. Yan hugged me from behind, chin lightly on my shoulder. Mr. Finn, she breathed, warm into my ear, her voice with that familiar mischief. From now on, under you, are all fresh young net hotties. You better behave yourself. Seeing the gold Mr. Finn on the office door, I still felt my steps floating. Yan's birthday gift was truly heavyweight. Opening the room door, for the first time I understood work pressure. Glancing around the workspace, everywhere young, beautiful faces. Long legs, slim waists, CEO style, or girl next door, all types. Plenty of female streamers, busy in their studios. Some smiling at cameras, others chatting lively about latest hot trends. A house husband suddenly made it thanks to his wife, becoming their boss. Lucky I had no other talents, but friendliness in spades. Plus, the tens of millions fan account as guarantee. In just days, I'd cinched up and gotten close with the company's influencers. Finn bro, check this video script for me. Feels like it's missing something. Mr. Finn, my livestream views were low today. Think switching to this style works? Whoever asked, I'd enthusiastically help. From content exchange, telling jokes to sharing net idol tips. Before long, Mr. Finn gradually got replaced by FinnBro.wa. While enjoying that surrounded feeling, a familiar shadow suddenly appeared like a ghost, right at my office door. Well, our Mr. Finn looks the part, huh? Nina Monroe crossed her arms, leaning on the door, with a half smile. My heart skipped. What are you doing here? She clacked her heels in, plopping on the sofa like at home. Ms. Yan sent me. Said she's afraid you can't handle it alone, so assigned me as assistant, cum secretary. She paused, winked at me, lowering her voice, straight up to be her eyes and ears. Got it, totally got it. From then, my good days ended. Nina Monroe was like a rice-powered camera, monitoring me 24/7, no blind spots. I'd just chatted a bit long with a new hottie. Not even 5 minutes later, Yan's WeChat buzzed. New staff, good at her job, needing the big boss himself to guide so thoroughly for so long. In meetings, my eyes accidentally lingered on a streamer's legs in a short skirt for about 0.5 seconds. Sure enough, that night, the keyboard was set in the living room. Honey, I was wrong. I just zoned out a tiny bit. I knelt down, super practiced. Posture perfectly standard. Yan holding Chloe, looking down from above. Oh, zoned out. Then tell me what color her skirt was. Dead. Couldn't answer a thing. Had to bow my head and admit guilt. Chloe beside, clapping and cheering. Daddy's kneeling on the keyboard again. Mommy's awesome. Truly couldn't cry if I wanted to. That evening, as I finished pending work, the office door suddenly pushed open. Chloe zoomed in like a little rocket, hugging my leg. Daddy! I smiled and picked her up. Willow Yan followed, carrying a cake box from the shop she loves most. Today, she wore a fitted dress, hair loose to shoulders. As she entered, the whole office lit up. I was about to speak when Nina Monroe stepped in from outside, her face all gossip mode, no fear of drama. Yan, perfect timing. Gotta keep a tight leash on your Mr. Tyler Finn. She approached Willow Yan, deliberately loud. My heart tightened. Bad vibe all over, hearing her embellish and tattle. Today he kept sneaking peeks multiple times at that new dancer we signed, especially her legs in black stockings. I saw it all. My scalp went numb instantly. You're lying, I hurriedly retorted. I didn't. Willow Yan narrowed her eyes. She set the cake down, stepping toward me one by one. Really? Next second, my ear got grabbed by a soft but incredibly firm hand. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Hurts, hurts, hurts so much, honey. She's fooling you. I swear I didn't. Holding Chloe, dodging while begging mercy. Willow Yan squeezed a bit tighter, but her lips couldn't help curling up slightly. Better be. She let go, shot me a scorching glare and said, let's go home for dinner. I felt amnesty granted. Scooped up Chloe, obediently trailing Willow Yan like a little tail. Nina Monroe behind, holding back laughs, even making faces at me. The whole family of three, like that, laughing and joking, walked out of the office building.